Two most important words in American marketing have always been new and improved. Well, there's times when old and just trustworthy is good. I remember when I was a kid, I used to ride around my neighborhood on my bicycle with an AM radio with an earpiece in so I could listen to Cincinnati Reds baseball. And I loved it. Loved it. Kids today don't know what it's like to have a radio because they live and die by their phone. And your phone does not do everything. I want to build a scenario real quick. Okay? It's a Saturday. It's June. You've got a huge thunderstorm. Your power goes out. What do? Well, like everybody else, we're attached to our phone. This is an Eton Elite. This is their mini radio. This is a radio that's going to give you your AM and your FM. It's going to give you shortwave radio as well. And you're going to be able to pick up the weather band so that you can tell what the weather's like even when everybody else can't. It's got a really nice little leatherette case to it. And then, as a secondary bonus, is this little guy. Everybody should have a flashlight for inclement weather. Well, what's the only problem with flashlights? The batteries go dead. Well, on this one, you crank it up. You are the battery. And to make it even better, there is a USB port on this that, heaven forbid, when my cell phone goes completely dead, I can plug it into this and crank it and get just enough energy out of it for that emergency phone call. Sometimes the old ways are better. And I think this is one of those examples. I don't have a lot of these. I've got 1,300 sets available. I think if you've got a dad in the family who's over the age of 50, he'll appreciate the older technology because it's flawless and it's priced at under 35 bucks. Oscar Duvall is one of my super high-tech guests, but that's why I enjoy having him on this one, because we're going to kind of go back in time to when transistor radios were still around and flashlights were something every kid thought was the coolest thing. I've got this at a really good price. If purchased separately, it's closer to 60 bucks. I'm at under 35. Good to see you. How are you, my friend?
It's always good to see you, Dan. Yeah, so if you're looking for something that really kind of helps you be prepared, you're getting two items here. For one, you're getting a flashlight that you can turn on and off with a little switch, but it also has a built-in crank that's on the inside too. So what that does, it gives you the capabilities to charge your smartphone. And it's really to kind of charge your devices, let's say, for that emergency power. And just to kind of give you an idea, it is small, it's lightweight, it has a built-in clip, so you can clip it to, let's say, your backpack, to anything that you have. All you do is you crank this, and now you have power automatically right to your flashlight. And on the side right here, you even have a spot to charge your smartphone. So you plug your smartphone right directly into that. But Dan, you're right. It also comes with really important things like that radio too. So you have that radio that even, let's say, if I turn that on, and just so we turn up the volume a little bit. It's an FM radio, AM radio, and it's also going to be shortwave. So that gives you the capabilities to basically listen to all the different news outlets that are out there, either AM, FM, and shortwave. And shortwave, basically, you can hear things from all around the world, what's happening. Because, God forbid, if there's a problem out there, and, because the world is a little weird right now. So if there's a tornado, you always want to stay in tune with what's happening in your area. And most of us live off our smartphones. So what happens when you're down to 2-3% power? Well, this is what you do. You plug in your phone cable directly into the Eton crank, and you start cranking it. And right when you start cranking it, it starts sending power directly to your phone. And it helps you make that emergency phone call. So it just makes life a lot easier, and it kind of gives you that peace of mind when things go bad.
And we're in inclement weather season right now. Yeah, we're in tornado season, pardon the cough. It's a neat little setup. By the way, even the little leatherette case that they gave you, They
makes it look cool.
Yeah, I agree. They did this up well.
Yeah, it's really nice looking.
Yeah, and you don't have to be a doomsday prepper or waiting for the zombie apocalypse.
No, but it's always good to be prepared.
Appreciate that. I agree. I completely agree. There's not a lot of people who have shortwave radios nowadays, unless you're a little bit of an older generation. I got to tell you, it's pretty cool to be able to hear information from all over the globe. And
Yeah,
to have,
and you.
go ahead.
No, yeah, it's always it makes you feel more comfortable knowing that you have an FM radio that works, so you can listen to the weather, AM band, and also it has that shortwave band, so you can hear all the things that you normally wouldn't hear on regular radio, but that's in your area or even around the world. So it really kind of keeps you in tune with when you're out of media, you still have media, but just don't put this in your glove compartment or or in your like bug out bag or any kind of thing like that. Use it for your everyday things. So let's say if you just want to use it like a regular flashlight and you're working on a car, not a problem. There's your flashlight. All you got to do is just crank it a little bit and then you have power to it. So if you can use it for every day, it has a built-in clip. So let's say if you want to plug it right directly to like the back of your bag right here. Let's say you're going camping or you're taking the kids out and they're going to use up their smartphone quite a bit. So, that gives you that emergency charge automatically to keep everything going. And you also have that built-in radio. You also have that radio, too, that kind of makes it nice.
Something that I really enjoy doing on a Sunday afternoon is sitting on my lawn tractor and listening to a baseball game, to listen to a Phillies game. That's something I used to do as a kid. I grew up in Indianapolis, so the closest pro team was Cincinnati, the big red machine, Cincinnati Reds.
Okay.
But I still like listening to a ball game when I'm cutting the yard. It just makes me smile. It's one of those simpler moments, and pieces of equipment like this are not bundled together like this very often. And I actually think it's probably the most logical common sense bundle that we've ever done from Eton. So Father's Day is right around the corner. If purchased separately, it's almost $60. We've got a sale price on it of $34.96, and we've got Easy Pay. So you've got a Dad's Day gift for $7. That's kind of nice. And it's also nice to know that you've got these two pieces of equipment on standby at the ready if indeed you need them for whatever purposes. I think the idea of a crank style flashlight, which is what the little red flashlight is perfect for today. We've got all this high-tech stuff. Bluetooth this, high-tech this. I kind of like the idea of a flashlight that you just charge up by cranking it, and then that gives you your LED light. That's every bit as bright as any flashlight I had as a kid.
Yeah, you don't have to think about batteries. You are the battery. If you can crank that for a couple minutes, you're going to have up to 20 minutes of flashlight time, which is pretty nice. If you're trying to make that emergency phone call, well, plug your cell phone into this. This will give you enough time for you to make that really, you can burn calories too. But you make that emergency phone call. So it's one of those things that it doesn't have a battery, but it's got that, it just makes you feel more comfortable knowing that if something goes down and let's say you have no power, you still have power as long as you can crank it.
Yeah, and again, like he had said, you plug your USB for your smartphone in here, and that'll help to charge your smart. Now listen, you're not going to get hours of talk time, but it's going to give you that enough for that emergency phone call if you need to. And I think that's pretty cool. And then again, AM FM radio, and if you're traveling, then this also becomes kind of like your little alarm clock right next to the bed because it's got a sleep timer built into it. It's got a built-in alarm in it as well, and it's just super small. That's the coolest stuff. I'm really starting to embrace older electronic technology. Oscar, I don't have it done yet, but when I was a much younger man, when I was in my early 20s, I was a disc jockey and went out on the road and I did a lot of parties, and I am replicating the old disco setup with the GLI Discotech 1 speakers and the old Technics turntables. I'm doing all of that from my man cave. Yeah. Newmark mixers.
So, I do remember those. So yeah, so it's basically peace of mind. You have your AM FM radio, you have that permanent power source to charge your devices, and it's a clip. You can clip it onto anything and take it with you.
Thank you, my friend. Listen, I don't have a lot of these. There's like 1,200 of them to go around. And when they're gone, they're gone. Pick it up for Father's Day. Great opportunity. Coming up in about 10 minutes from our friend